And now we go to New York City with our correspondent in the U.S., Jorge Gestoso, who has all the latest details on the first day of debates at the United Nations General Assembly. Hello, Gestoso. What news do you have for us at this hour?
At this very time, I tell you that the afternoon session of the first day of the general debate is still going on, full force. The president of Uruguay, Yamandu Orsi, was already given his speech at the General Assembly. He put emphasis that Uruguay wants to push multilateralism. He denounced the conflicts around the world, especially he was mentioning the Middle East and Ukraine, and also put emphasis as Uruguay as a peace mediator, a peace country that has a very big reputation about participating in the mediation of conflicts. Expected in this afternoon session, President of Colombia, Gustavo Petro, we anticipate that he's going to denounce the decision of the U.S. to decertify Colombia as a country that fights against the drug trafficking and the drug production. He said that there's no country that can decide that has a right to put their nose in other countries' business, and he always have already denounced the U.S. as the biggest consumption of drugs. In the morning session, it was a historic morning because, as usual, the opening session was in the hands of Brazil. President Lula was opening the session and he was putting special emphasis in democracy, in sovereignty, also denouncing what he believes that the structure of the UN needs to be revised, especially the Security Council. And on the other hand, he was putting very much emphasis in his fight against climate change and has to do with environment. After President Lula, President Donald Trump was his turn. He was very critical of the UN, was very critical of the decision of recognizing Palestine as a state, a recognition that was increased in the last 48 hours. 12 countries was joining the list of other countries of the world that recognize the state of Palestine. Now we're talking about 152 countries in the world out of the 193 members of the UN. That means 3/4 of the planet is pushing for that, and definitely President Trump repeated the litany that we have heard for many times of Prime Minister Netanyahu, that to recognize and to try to help the government and the state of Palestine is a synonym of push for terrorism, something that has no foundation. So far, the case of Palestine, the case of peace, the case of multilateralism is so far the issues that are being taking place in this first session. And throughout the week, we are going to expect other countries of our region, Latin America, taking the stand here at the United Nations. We get back to you now.